Hi, Bass Recapped here.
Today, I'm going to explain a romantic thriller film from 2005 titled, The Quiet. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. The movie begins with a high school student named Dot. Dot is a loner and prefers staying alone. One day she is sitting alone in the school canteen and is very upset. Dot's childhood friend Nina, along with her friend Michelle, is talking about Connor, a very popular boy in school. One of Dot's teachers approaches her to give her some company, but Dot walks away, goes to the bathroom and spends the rest of the day there. After a long time, Nina comes and takes her home. After the accidental death of her deaf father, Dot, an orphan teenager who is also deaf and mute, is sent to live in Connecticut with her godparents and their teenage daughter, Nina. Janice, the teacher who earlier approached Dot, meets Paul and tells him about her concern regarding Dot. Paul tells her about Dot's condition and assures her that she is fine. He buys some medicines from the pharmacy for his wife and leaves. After reaching home, Paul greets his daughters and heads straight to Olivia, who is completely tired after working all day. He takes her to the bed and gives her the medicine. At dinner, Paul suggests that they should all learn some sign language to communicate with Dot. Nina isn't interested in that and leaves for Michelle's home where she wants to spend the night. The next day in the biology lab, Dot becomes partner with Connor. Michelle feels jealous about it, as she wants to hook up with Connor badly. She also asks Nina whether she is dating someone or not, and suggests that she should lose her virginity before graduating or else will be a failure in life. Dot goes to an empty classroom and starts playing the piano. Connor notices her and is feeling an attraction to her. Dot and Nina had been friends in childhood before Dot lost her hearing as a result of a medical condition. Dot is troubled by the death of her father. Late one night, while returning to her bedroom, Dot catches Paul and Nina getting intimate in Nina's bedroom. But she doesn't say anything and gets back to her room as if it's a completely normal thing. She pretends that she doesn't say anything. While having dinner, Nina tells her parents that she is going out with Michelle. But Paul doesn't approve of this. So Nina tries to seduce Paul and compels him to let her go. It becomes clear that Nina and Paul have had a years-long incestuous relationship, which Nina uses as leverage against her father to get whatever she wants. Dot also wants to go to the movies. So Paul drives her to the movies. Dot watches Nina and her friends from above and is concerned about her. After returning home, Dot is unable to sleep. She sees Paul coming downstairs and pretends to be sleeping. Paul enters her room and confesses to her that he is a sick man who sleeps with his daughter. After talking about himself, he leaves. Mitchell and Nina are spending the night together. Nina expresses her desire to get away as far as possible and start a new life. The next day, Connor and his friend invite Nina and Mitchell over to their home. But Nina isn't interested and tries to come up with some excuse. One afternoon, Nina returns home early from cheerleading practice and overhears Dot playing the piano on the family's piano. When one of the strings breaks, Nina hears Dot swear loudly, before vocally harmonizing with the strings as she tunes them. It turns out that Dot is not deaf and was just pretending the whole time. Realizing Dot is neither deaf nor mute, Nina withholds her knowledge of this. The next day, at school, acting under the guise that Dot cannot hear, Nina talks to Dot and confesses her hatred of her father, and details her plan to murder him. But Dot still pretends as if she can't hear anything and doesn't even react to Nina's plan. Later that evening, when Dot is playing the piano at the school, Connor watches her through the door. When Dot sees him, Connor tries to talk to her. But Dot isn't interested and leaves. Later that evening, Connor goes to Dot's home and asks Paul and Olivia if he could go to the library with Dot. Michelle also arrives there and gives Nina a bag. Dot suspects that there may be a gun inside which Nina will use to kill Paul. But she doesn't say anything and leaves with Connor. Michelle and Nina hang out in Nina's room. But Paul, who wants to share some love with Nina, asks her to send Michelle home. Dot, who is on a date with Connor, sees an ambulance and fears that Nina might have killed Paul. So she heads back home and sees the bag Michelle earlier gave to Nina. When she checks the bag, there is no gun, but only books. When she goes to Nina's room, she finds Paul and Nina in bed together. So she deliberately breaks a vase in the hallway, interrupting their little adventure. Nina realizes the action signifies Dot's alliance with her. Later that night, Dot comforts Nina in her bedroom as she cries herself to sleep. The next morning, Nina tells Dot that she is going to kill Paul at midnight, this time for sure. To stop her, Dot calls the Department of Child Welfare. But she changes her mind and doesn't tell them anything. The following night, after a basketball game, Dot takes Connor to the swimming pool where they can be alone. Connor spills numerous personal secrets to Dot, without knowing the fact that Dot can hear very well. He tells her about his attention deficit disorder and his chronic masturbation. Back at home, Paul and Olivia are talking about Nina and what's better for her future. Olivia tries to seduce Paul, but he isn't interested. After all, he wants to save his stamina for Nina. Meanwhile, Connor is still sharing his secrets with Dot. Dot cannot resist herself anymore and get undressed. The two then get intimate. Meanwhile, Nina returns home from the game and sees Paul waiting for her. After getting intimate with Connor, Dot sees the clock and realizes that it's close to midnight. So she runs back home. Paul visits Nina in her bedroom while she irons her cheerleading uniform. Paul, who is saving his stamina for Nina, tries to get intimate, but Nina stops him. Mustering all the courage to proceed with the murder, Nina tells him to close his eyes, saying that she has a secret to show him. She proceeds to approach him with the hot iron to burn his face but is interrupted when Dot returns home. Nina puts the iron down and instead lies to her father that she is pregnant and needs $1,000 for an abortion. Paul agrees to give Nina the money the next day. The next day at school, Connor approaches Dot and asks her to join him at the school's spring dance. Dot refuses his proposal, but Connor is adamant about taking her to the dance. So Nina and Dot prepare to attend the school's spring dance the following night. While getting ready, Nina tells Dot she is going to kill Paul that night and run away with the abortion money he is giving her. She explains that she will find work as a stripper, believing she can become famous like Courtney Love. Before the girls depart for the dance, Paul confronts Nina after finding tampons in her purse, and accuses her of lying about the pregnancy. Meanwhile, Dot, who is playing the piano downstairs, hears the argument. The confrontation becomes violent, and Paul tries to force himself on Nina. Dot rushes to save Nina and strangles Paul to death with a piano wire. Olivia, in a drug-induced stupor, stumbles upon the scene, unfazed by her husband's corpse. But she is amazed by the revelation that Dot can hear. It seems that Olivia knew about Paul and Nina. But still, she didn't do anything to stop them. Michelle arrives at the house to pick Nina and Dot up. The two quickly change their dresses, which are soaked in blood, and leave. At the dance, Dot dances with Connor. But she leaves in the middle to meet with Nina. When Connor tries to stop her, he realizes that Dot can hear and speak clearly. Angered by her deception, he storms away. Nina and Dot leave the dance and walk to a riverbank in the woods, where they bury a backpack containing their blood-soaked clothing. Nina asks Dot why she pretended to be deaf and mute. Dot explains that, after her mother died during her childhood, she stopped speaking and began communicating only with sign language, as it made her feel closer to her father. When the girls return home, they find police cars at the house, and Olivia turning herself in for Paul's murder. Olivia apologizes to her daughter and atones for having allowed Paul's sexual abuse of Nina to go ignored. The following morning, Nina and Dot sit together and play the piano, freed from their respective fathers. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more such movies explanation. And hit the like button to support our work. See you next time.